Good evening, YouTube. Well, I just watched the Queen's Court Supreme. I'm not gonna bullshit y'all. There were some issues here. But of course, we all know that. Everybody's rooting for this to be a big success. Funny, have us in stitches. But we can't laugh if we can't hear. So the audio problems they were having overshadowed everything else, because there are several things that have been done right since the Queen's Court. First of all, the set was stable. The framing, the way they set up there, was fine. The only thing with the background is they need to be pulled tighter so you don't see wrinkles in the background. Tiny technical stuff. But I think some people should say something about it, so they'll know what to work on. Main thing is they need a sound system. I don't know if with 3 different people, they need to mic them up on their clothes. Those are not so much money, really. People think it's a lot of money. You can get those from Best Buy. I think I paid $20. I never even used it, but they're not that much. Put mics on their clothes, or I have these microphones like this Jedi, where they are. This microphone here is geared where you can switch it to have 2 people being interviewed and 1 in the middle. It's called the Yeti. A lot of people on YouTube use this microphone, but it's made specifically for that kind of situation. Now, so the sound is the primary thing, right? The other thing was, the whole time I watched that thing, I could hear people talking in the background. Now, that don't make any sense. Everybody knows you have to have quiet on the set. You absolutely have to have quiet on the set. Whoever's in the background, they should be invisible. If they worked it out, they won't have laughter or some of the jokes and things like that. That's something that's got to be much better organized, because that was a mess. You couldn't hear her, and when they tried to speak up louder, it just popped and fizzled. So a technical problem can be fixed. So I haven't given up hope on the show. I think the one girl, I'm not familiar with these girls. I don't watch reality TV. I get the impression that they were part of some shows, but the one girl, I thought she was funny. I thought she had a lot of funny things, a lot of good energy, personality. That was the lighter skinned girl, kind of a little rounder. I don't know her name. I'm sorry about that. I think the other girl's name was Mo. Now, Mo was low energy, wasn't right for this particular kind of show at all. So, yeah, I should be reviewing the actual show format. A lot of the stories were older stories that we've already been talking about for a couple of weeks, but that's okay. I mean, this is a pilot episode. They need to work some things out, but we know they got to work them out quick, or people won't show up. I noticed that she did have 7,000 to 8,000, sometimes 9,000 people watching at any given time. So they're off to a start, but I'll make the same argument that I made about Queen's Court. I don't see any reason at all that it has to be broadcast live. See, if it wasn't broadcast live, then they wouldn't have all these audio problems. They would be able to identify the problems, even if they had to do the whole damn thing over again. At least they would know. Doing something live, you can't correct, you can't be moving things around, you can't be making a lot of noise or changing things when you don't know it's going to be better or worse. That's a mess, and I don't see any reason, because that line of comments that go across on the live, when there's that many people involved, or the 9,000 people online, you can't read them anyway. I could not read. I couldn't focus well enough to read anything in those comments. And those comments, I assume, is the only reason that they're live in the first place. So my primary advice would be is to get rid of the idea that you have to do this live. You don't have to do it live. Let me say it a couple times, because maybe somebody passes on to her. There's no reason to do it live. You don't have to do it live. Live is sloppy. Particularly, you got 3 personalities here. It's always a difficult interview. I know The View does it. They have 3 or 4 people up there, but those people are rehearsed professionals. You girls were talking over each other. Some of the funniest parts were being left out. I thought Maddie was fine. I thought what was that? The right side? The lighter skin girl was fine. I think the other one's name is Mo, because I saw a lot of comments. I could see Mo repeatedly showing that she was low energy. She wasn't really into it, and she didn't have the kind of humor that the other two had. So if they don't do it live, they'd be able to have the show, have someone to edit it, even if they have to hire somebody to edit it, but have someone to edit it to get it smooth and perfect. That will take care of a lot of your problems. All these reality shows, if they try to do that live, can you imagine the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Georgia live? It'd be an absolute mess. No show does that. Nobody does it live. As I said, the sound, we all know the sound was horrible. So she got to invest in some better microphones. Now, but there were some good points too, because the set was fine. The lights were great. Remember, these were our big complaints before. The lighting, the staging, the set, wherever it was, you couldn't tell if it was in a basement, living room, wherever it was. The set was fine. I'm not wild about the background, but I wish it was just a little smoother, just a smoother thing. They might at some point want to do a green screen. I don't know. But I like the counter. The counter part was cool. And the girls basically looked all right. The girl Mo, she just didn't. She wasn't there tonight. So if you had a rehearsal, where you would do a sound check, light check, and all that. Although I would say, there's been a lot of improvement, but when something overshadows like that, particularly if you're trying to be funny, you cannot be funny if the people can't hear what you're saying. And then when all three of those voices come in at the same time, it's difficult, Madison. So hopefully you will correct these things and do it quickly. Don't waste a lot of time with it. Get somebody to help you. But yeah, I think they'll be fine. I don't know if she's gonna. I don't know, but that's definitely not the cast for it. First one, the person who I'm guessing his name is Mo. She shouldn't be there. So I don't know if she's gonna have different people every week, different guests to work with her, or she's gonna have recurring guests, or what. But the one girl was fine. Maybe you audition somebody else, and I think people are willing to be patient. As they get themselves together. For a few episodes. It took that with the Queen's Court as well. They were just now starting to get it together when everything went to shit. When they tried their major reboot. Anyway, so I think that's my critique. Sound, that's the most obvious thing. The lights were fine. I could see everybody fine. The set was fine. It'll work. The bottom part of the set, the bench where they sat, that was framed just perfectly. She had all three people on the screen. Their docket was fine, except for the stories were old. I'll just say that. Now, internet, a story is old in a week, so that'll all be worked out, I'm sure. But if she's going, people don't agree with me, I guess, but I think she should do something with like Funky Dineva. I really think that they would do it well, at least for a show. I'm not saying that she's about to let a Dineva come in there and take over this show, but what I'm saying is if she's going to have different guests, and they're all in the Atlanta area, she got a lot of talent there. I think that personality will work better. I think she should at least try it. It's my recommendation. Try Dineva. See if they can pull it off. And to have guests is fine, but she's going to be stuck with then having to line up guests. That's a responsibility. So, I wish them the best. I will be tuning in. We can be patient to a point. Yeah. So from what I could see of this sidebar thing, sound kind of negative. Mostly all the same stuff. They bitched about Mo and they bitched about the sound. And I really had a problem with all those voices in the background. I couldn't tell if we were getting a radio signal or a TV was on in the background, But she kept telling them shh. So no, not shh. Shh. It's not going to work. No noise. Nothing. Quiet on the set. We've seen it all the movies, Hollywood movies ever made. First thing they say, the director says, quiet on the set, then action. Not action as you're quieting on the set. I don't see any reason why whatever was said there couldn't have been said after the show or out of the room. So I'm sure she has that opportunity now. Hopefully all of those sidebars, she'll be able to say them and go through them at least to see the recurring complaints. If a complaint is showing up 100 times, then there's something to look at. But don't do it live. Do a sound check. Rehearse your lines. I know it's an internet show. They're not going to do a whole lot. But yeah, a rehearsal would be good. And also, just to see how your guests are going to work. And then, just get all those people out of there. People who are not there, they can't be quiet. They have to leave the room. I've never seen a television show or even an internet show where people are talking in the background. That's just crazy. Don't do that. All right, Maddie. Good luck to you, honey. I'll be looking. I'll be watching. Later.